moving on to our last segment, sir. And it's a segment that I'm very interested to discuss.
Indeed.
George Lucas sold Lucasfilm October 30th, 2012 for $4 billion. Billion with a B.
With a B.
Um, at the time, apparently he had a deal with Disney that when he sold it, they would use his treatment for a new trilogy. He originally conceived Star Wars as 9 films. The first 3 was going to be about the father, Darth Vader. The next 3, the OG 3, was going to be about the son, Luke. And then the sequel trilogy was going to be about the daughter and the grandchildren, basically. Uh, which is, I mean, I'm fine with that. When you start breaking it down like that, I'm like, oh, that makes sense. I'm fine with it. And I could kind of see where Disney was kind of going with that because they made Princess Leia kind of I'm not gonna say a focal point, but they focus on her a little bit more in the first 2 movies for sure.
Right.
Until her untimely death. R.I.P. So he had that treatment for the next 3 already, and Disney was supposed to use those ideas and make that sequel trilogy based off of that. So, do you know about what his sequel trilogy was originally supposed to be about, sir?
Oh, there was many theories. I don't know which theory you're going with.
This is not a theory. This is straight out the horse's mouth.
Um,
I watched a
uh,
video on YouTube, Star
wasn't it
Wars.
wasn't it about the school mainly?
There is a school involved. There's a
Yeah.
school involved. So Star Wars Theory, I think is the YouTube channel name. There's a huge fucking book, and it chronicles like all of Star Wars history with the movies and George Lucas. And he actually says this in the book. Basically, the sequel trilogy was going to be what do we do now after the war? After Darth Vader is dead, after Palpatine is dead, what do we do now? He kind of compared it to the Iraq War, and after we kill all the bad guys, what do we fucking do now? And that was kind of what the trilogy, the sequel trilogy, was going to be about, and it was basically going to focus on, like I said, the daughter, Princess Leia, and the grandchildren. The stormtroopers are kind of disgruntled. They're fucking like pissed off that they lost. So they go to this corner of the universe and they start building a rebellion of sorts. So it kind of like brings it back full circle to the very first movie, uh, and how the rebellion started from there. So now it's kind of reverse with the villains doing it. Uh, but the main villain would have been Darth Maul, which kind of
Yep.
makes sense because they started bringing Darth Maul into the animated series
Mm-hmm.
kind of around that same time. So Darth Maul is training a girl, a lady Sith named Darth Talon.
Yep.
Apparently, she's in the comics as well.
She is.
He takes over as the main overarching villain. Leia is rebuilding the Republic and becomes Supreme Chancellor and ends up being the quote unquote chosen one. Luke is looking for Jedi and is training them and in the school and whatnot. So you can kind of see little tidbits here and there in the Disney trilogy. But I mean, dude, this sounds pretty fucking good.
Right.
Just saying. So my question to you, sir, and it's the reason for this segment. Would you want George Lucas to come back and do, I don't know, we'll say remake
Well,
his
Zack
his
Snyder.
version, kind of remake his version of what the 3 movies should have been, and we just throw those 3 movies away and make those alternate verse or some shit.
Sure. What ifs?
What ifs? So what would you do, sir? Would you
I
would
would
you
want
welcome
him to
him
come
back?
back. I would definitely push him to come back because I mean, look at the OG. Like everybody did not believe it was going to be a good film. Even the actors. Like Mark Hamill will tell you this fucking film shit. The premise was shit, but it fucking blossomed into this fucking amazing, amazing community. There's lore out the ass between legends and canon. I mean, and then to be just pretty much spit on by Disney would just infuriate me if I was George Lucas.
Mm-hmm.
Like, what the fuck did you just fucking give us? I mean, the only saving grace was 2 fucking shows, you know, fucking Mandalorian and fucking Obi-Wan. That's the only thing that saved Star Wars. Not the 3 films, fucking shows that weren't even anything. You
And
know?
hell, Mandalorian's getting to the point where it's not even that good anymore.
No, that's not.
So I would be down for him coming back. Now, there's some people that say, well, he just has he added a bunch of bullshit in the prequel trilogy. Look, listen. Say all you want about the prequel trilogy. Are they great movies in terms of, hey, these are well made, well acted, and whatnot? Maybe not. But I will argue Phantom Menace it's a good movie. Okay, it is a good, entertaining movie. Yes, is it made for kids? Yes. Okay, 100% made for kids. The second movie, it's kind of boring. It's kind of boring for a Star Wars movie, but I can watch it, and I would still rather watch that than anything in the sequel trilogy. And then we know how I feel about Revenge of the Sith. That movie is fucking top 3 all time.
Yeah, all day.
That's top 3.
It
That
might
movie
not be the
amazing.
greatest trilogy, but it's still way better than the last one.
Yes.
Oh God, is it still better than the last one?
I was in there doing my research, and Logan he watched Empire Strikes Back, and I was like, ooh yeah, I'm okay with this. And then he put the next movie on. By next movie, I mean I don't mean in chronological order. He just picked one, right?
Right.
And I wasn't paying attention, and I looked up and I see fucking Superman Leia, and I was like, "You picked the worst fucking movie out of the bunch." Like you had like what? How many movies are there? 11. You had 11 options, and you picked the fucking worst one.
Right.
Actually, I take that back. It's not the worst movie. Solo is the worst movie, but it's pretty fucking close. Okay. I would be okay with him coming back. I would. The thing about the prequel series that I think a lot of people kind of get hung up on is the fact that it was made for kids a little bit to bring in that new generation. And then the politics, the senator stuff, it was kind of heavy-handed in the prequel trilogy for sure. It did kind of bog it down in terms of like pacing and being fun and whatnot. But I think it needed to be done. I think that story needed to be told in order to get to where Darth Vader and Palpatine are in control in episode 4. So I understand all that. But the shit that we got in the sequel trilogy is unexcusable. It's just
It's not even the story he wanted.
It's an absolute mess. It's an absolute mess.
Not even anything.
And it sucks because the sequel trilogy has Kylo Ren, which I will die on the hill and say that is a great fucking villain. Adam Driver's a great actor.
Yeah.
I thought they did a great job with Kylo Ren in the sequel trilogy. His design, fucking dope. Oh, he throws temper tantrums. Dude, get the fuck out of here, man. He's just fucking pissed off he's a Sith, okay? He doesn't know how to control his emotions. That's like the fucking characteristic of being a Sith, you know? You don't fucking control your emotions very well. So take that shit somewhere else.
Look how many hissy fits did fucking Darth Vader throw?
A lot.
But no, he's Darth Vader. He's Daddy Darth.
Daddy Darth.
Nobody's gonna complain about him throwing a hissy fit,
right? So we have all these good characters in there. Not Finn, not Poe. We're not talking about them. They fucking sucked.
Indeed.
Even Rey. Like, okay, I'm. This is not a hill worth dying on for me by any means. I'm not gonna sit here and defend her as being this great character, but I enjoyed her. And okay, enjoyed is probably a strong word. I was okay with her in the series. Tolerated her. Yeah. Okay. I just wish they would have done something better with her. You know,
I mean,
apparently
shit, she's Palpatine's fucking child. I mean, where's the power?
that shit just was just fucking stupid to begin with. Like,
I'm just
dude,
saying, if you're gonna
just
ride on that horse or that hill, fucking, she sucks at lightsabering. She sucks at force. She sucks. No pun intended.
and then what about Snoke? You know, like,
Fuck that dude.
what the fuck did what did he? Why was he even in the movies at all? He just fucking died, and it was like nothing. We were thinking like he was some big bad like villain that we weren't like someone from the past that we weren't sure about, and no, he just died. Like,
It's just another clone of Palpatine. That's all.
yeah, and then the third movie, Rise of the Skywalker or Rise of Skywalker, whatever the fuck it's called, doesn't even matter at this point. Nobody cares. J.J. Abrams didn't have much to work with because Ryan Johnson fucked everything up in The Last Jedi. So he's retconning everything in the last fucking movie. And, oh man, I think Rise of Skywalker could have been a great movie if it didn't spend so much time trying to retcon The Last Jedi.
Yeah.
I mean, when you look at Rise of Skywalker, I think it is. I don't know if it's a better movie. It is more entertaining, and I think it's better for the overall lore of Star Wars than The Last Jedi is. Uh, I think The Last Jedi definitely looks better. For all of its faults, I think it is the best looking Star Wars movie out there. For all of its faults.
I mean, I say that, but then the fucking red sand. That is a great visually scene.
Ooh, that was fucking dope.
Just saying.
There's some great moments in those fucking movies. Some great moments. Some
And yet
dope moments.
you fucking squandered them.
And you squandered them. Okay? Like, I can't help but think when I think about Star Wars, I think about I kind of want to rewatch the series, but I can't rewatch the whole thing because there's shit movies at the very end, and I don't want to watch them.
Yep.
So to me, I feel like we need George Lucas back, and I don't think he ever will come back.
No.
He's made it abundantly clear that it was kind of the stress of making the movies, and then the fandom kind of killed it. Which,
I can see that.
To be fair, the fandom is very toxic. I mean, it's right up there with Pokemon. It's one of the most toxic.
I mean, look at
fucking
Hayden
fandoms.
Christensen whenever he was fucking Anakin and then Darth Vader. They fucking hated him for the longest time.
Mm-hmm.
And then he made his redemption as Darth Vader in Obi-Wan. They finally got over their fucking bullshit.
I think a lot of that was unfounded, man. Like I
mean,
I don't think Hayden Christian was that bad. He was just the movies just turned into memes. That was the biggest issue.
Yep. And then they just fucking ran off with it, man. They did.
So yeah, I think he should come back, but he won't ever do it, and Disney's never going to ask him. Honestly, they need to get rid of Kathleen Kennedy, I think, because she's just fucking shit up. She's fucking it all up.
All of it.
I remember when they bought Lucasfilm, they said, "Hey, we're going to do one movie a year," and at the time, I was like, "Bro, that's a lot of Star Wars. That's going to be fucking great." And then once they started releasing the movies, it's like,
wrong.
But do you know? Do you need to release one movie a year?
Can we go back and let it release like every 2, 3, maybe?
Yes. And that is the great thing about what they're doing right now, where they're just kind of, I don't know, treading water right now and not making any movies. They're kind of just seeing what's the next step. And I'm perfectly okay with that. They're kind of focusing on the TV game. And for what it's worth, I mean, it's not that great.
I don't know. I've saw that they're trying to bring Ray back, and well, not back, but part of the next movie.
Yeah, the next trilogy. We've already kind of talked about this. They're going to continue the Skywalker saga after they fucking said it was done, but it is what it is at this point.
You're just beating that dead horse.
Yeah. So I think they need to bring Lucas back, but he needs to do before the prequel trilogy. Do a prequel trilogy.
prequel.
What is it? What is a before prequel?
I don't
Is it
know.
a prequel?
Find out.
Well, then the prequel trilogy would turn into the sequel trilogy, wouldn't it? Technically,
Yeah. Story long
horseshoes and
time.
hand grenades, man. That's what.
Story long ago.
But no, he needs to come back and he needs to do shit from before episode one.
No, he needs to
And
come back and just let it lay, and then come back and do fucking Knights of the Old Republic.
yeah, before episode one.
Yeah, that's what he needs to do.
Okay. I mean, at this point, I mean, he can't come back and do episode 7, 8, 9. I mean, his treatment was Princess. It was Princess Leia, unless you recasted her, which I think would be a terrible decision because, well, we've already recasted Han Solo. We see how that fucking worked out for everybody, don't we?
Right.
So I think that would be a bad idea for him to remake those last three movies, and I don't think Disney would ever let him to begin with. So I'm with you, sir. I think they ought to do a Knights of the Old Republic or something
Darth Revan.
right around
that's
that
all
time.
he needs to go and just go with it.
Yes. Or I'm just gonna go out on a limb here. Okay, I'm gonna go out on a limb here. Darth Maul movie or series.
I mean, I'm cool with that too.
You remember that movie I showed you, right? The YouTube one? Yeah, that's what we fucking need, guys. Live action. Get those motherfuckers and let them make the movie.
Those motherfuckers. Oh, sweet Jesus.
Or I know Lucasfilm is listening and looking at this podcast right now. You can ask all three of us. Nick is kind of the connoisseur of Star Wars knowledge.
He was in Nickelback, so he knows.
Exactly. And he can handle the music as well. Could you imagine a Star Wars movie with Nickelback?
No.
Look at this photograph.
Look at this lightsaber. God, Jesus. Oh, I can't.
So, guys, y'all let us know in the comment section below, or if you are a Patreon supporter, go to the Discord and let us know if George Lucas should come back for another trilogy, another, I don't know, remake, or come back for just a one-off movie, something. Would you be interested in him coming back into Star Wars? I think we would be dumb not to. I mean, Star Wars movies were good up until the point that he started making them. So, just saying.
I mean, even if he doesn't make them, let him write the story and then use the story.
Yeah, that was one of the things that the book said was, Disney just kind of kicked him out. He had thoughts, he was there, but they just didn't take his advice and shit like that. So Disney 100% shit the bed on this.
Oh yeah, because they could have made a lot more money.
Oh, so much money.